May 3rd, 1999 was a tragic day for many Oklahomans. People lost homes, businesses, family members, pets, and prized possessions, among many other things. This Monday in May changed the lives of even those Oklahomans who were not personally affected by the dozens of tornadoes and the wake left after the storm. The purpose of this speech is to inform you of three things. First, what a tornado is. Second, to inform you of the history and the story behind the day. And three, how Oklahomans picked up themselves and the community after the storm. I'm sure you all know what a tornado is, but just to make sure we're all on the same page, here's the definition according to dictionary.com. It is a localized, violently destructive windstorm occurring over land, especially in the Middle West, and characterized by a long, funnel-shaped cloud extending towards the ground and made visible by condensation and debris. In simple terms, or in my terms, it's a very big windstorm that has a cloud coming out of the sky in the shape of a funnel. According to the Fujita Tornado Damage Scale, a tornado is categorized based on its size, ranging from the smallest, which is an F0, to the largest, which is an F5. And to give you an idea of how big an F5 tornado can get, it can reach up to larger than half a mile wide. So now that we know what a tornado is and how it is categorized, we can begin to talk about May 3rd. Oklahoma was bombarded with over a dozen tornadoes on May 3rd, 1999. Of the dozens of tornadoes that hit that day, the largest recorded was stretched to over half a mile wide. That's 880 yards, over 8 football fields. Just imagine that. The smallest tornado recorded on May 3rd was about 30 yards. 30 yards is small, but if you think about it, it could wipe out a house easily. Families lost members on that day. A mother and her child were driving down the highway when the siren sounded and when the radio told them to seek shelter. When you're driving around the highway, there's nothing much that you can do. You can pull over and get in a ditch, or you can hide under the underpass. The mother and her child hid under that underpass until the tornado was over. But by the time the storm was over, the winds had taken her son out from underneath the overpass, and he was found miles away. To some people, pets are considered family. Pets were home alone when the storm hit due to people being at work or at school or grocery store just running errands. So the pets are clueless, they don't know what to do. So after the storm, there are many news stories about lost pets, found pets, and the veterinary clinics were pretty much full. 11 counties were affected, 46 people died, and hundreds more were injured. Houses were destroyed, businesses were leveled to the ground, and there was nothing to look at besides mounds and mounds of rubble. McDonald's has a recognizable icon. I'm sure everybody in the world knows what McDonald's is. McDonald's in Dell City that day would not be recognizable. Those golden arches that we all know so well were bent and twisted to the point of no recognition. Picking up after such a devastating storm is inevitable. Oklahomans had to start somewhere. So they started with their houses, picking up their memories that had been destroyed and twisted and trashed or totally ruined. Photos and videos were lost, furniture ruined, and personal belongings were gone for forever. The next step, people began to work on their neighborhoods and picking up their communities. Those neighborhoods, which stood hundreds and hundreds of beautiful homes, were now nothing but mounds of rubble as far as the eye could see. Organizations such as the Red Cross and Salvation Army stepped up to help Oklahomans. They supplied things such as water and food to those who had spent hours on end digging through what used to be their home or their business. They supplied clothes to those who lost everything, and shelter for those who needed a roof over their heads since their homes were gone. Oklahomans didn't let the effects of May 3rd keep them down forever. They came together as a community, as a state, as one big family to clean up and continue on. And what came out of this storm was a sense of family that every Oklahoman had. If you talk to any Oklahoman that day, they're proud to call themselves an Oklahoman. Not only did they survive what they say is one of the deadliest tornado outbreaks of the state, they survived the cleanup, which lasted hours on end, and now we're proud to be Oklahomans, And we now have more of a, what's the word I'm looking for? The storms don't scare people anymore. Yeah, the damage was intense. People lost family members, they lost lives. But now, we know more of how to prepare, and that came out of this, we're no longer scared.